and welcome to another edition of the official LFC podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance. I'm your host, Mike Larkin, and joining me today is the newest addition to the LFC roster. She was a ring girl at the last LFC event in Sturgis last year, the one, the only Miss Mai Death. Mai, it's a pleasure and privilege to have you on the show as always. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I cannot complain. First and foremost, there's that beautiful smile as always that we get to see from you, my amazing friend. So it's always a pleasure and privilege to have you on, and you're very welcome. I mean, you're always very vibrant, and it's exciting times for you. LFC 32, black and blue. There's a little rhyme and tie in there. You were taking on Jezabel Romo in her debut. Your debut, it sets the tone. You're the opening bout. How are you feeling, Mai?
I'm feeling really good. I'm excited to meet her, and I'm excited to beat her. Just kidding. Am I kidding? I don't know.
Well, foremost, man, she got a hell of a promo on you on the LFC Instagram, the LFC YouTube, on all social media platforms, man. So I got to say, it's going to be intense.
Yes, I think so. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't nervous because it's my first time, but I think the nervousness balances out with the excitement. So I feel good and positive overall.
I think what's cool about you, Miss Positivity, it's that it's one of those things where, look, I love you, I respect you, and I know you're a sweetheart at heart, but sometimes, man, you got to get your hands dirty in there. I mean, you're dealing with someone who's been in the biz for 20 years, has her own wrestling school, she has that sass about her, and you got that sass about you. You got to channel that inner sass, Mai. Get in there and just ruffle some feathers, man.
Yeah, I will. I think, people tell me I'm super smiley, but I think I'll be able to channel it. It's kind of a secret.
I mean, Death Proof, you have to live up to the name Death Proof, man. Death and Proof.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, how does that feel as well? You got a badass nickname. Every girl has so many amazing nicknames. Mia Annabella has her new nickname, which is Mia Mayhem Annabella, MMA, perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
Death Proof, man. How you feel about that nickname? Because it's badass.
I love it because the movie from Quentin Tarantino, which is a really underrated Quentin Tarantino movie. I think everybody thinks it's made by Rodriguez because it has that grindhouse feel to it, but I love it because stuntman Mike gets defeated in the end by a group of kick-ass women, and I get to fight with a group of kick-ass women. Maybe one day there'll be a stuntman Mike we'll get to take down, but in the meantime, we'll just fight each other and practice on each other.
Foremost, I got to call your bluff, man. You said you don't want to talk some pop culture to me. That's a great pop culture reference with your Death Proof and Quentin Tarantino, man. I like your style. But no, that's how it encompasses, man. And it's one of those things, too. What's great about the nicknames, what's great about the overall grandiose style with LFC, man, we got girls with amazing nicknames and the overall entrance. You're coming out on a bike, man. It's Sturgis. The bike entrance is going to be amazing to see, Mike.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I know they're lining that up. I think I have somebody that's going to be riding with me, somebody that I know. Hopefully they'll be able to make it. They don't know if they'll be staying that long, but I'm really excited to come in on that. Last year, I said I wanted to come in on a horse, but I think motorcycles will do. I like horses too, because horses and motorcycles, being on both kind of give me a similar feeling, right? You're not in a boxed vehicle. That's the original like horsepower, and so I think either one would have made me happy. But I'm excited to roll in on motorcycles for the rally. So.
Okay, see, now that is a different kind of entrance, coming out on a horse, man. See, I can appreciate that just because of the culture and the style. I would love to see one of the fighters, even if it's yourself or whomever, come out on a horse. That is badass.
Yeah, I imagined myself coming out in a horse, in kind of like an outlaw in like a rope jail, and ripping the cowboy off. Like, let me fight.
Gotta have the old Western type of feel, which is very cool because it symbolizes a great period in history. And yep, all right, I like your style.
Sturgis, Deadwood, the Black Hills area, so the Wild West. Yeah, that's kind of But I can go for both, Wild West and also motorcycles and the Sturgis Rally. So
Hey, now all we got to have you in is Daisy Dukes and some cowboy boots, man. That's what we got to do.
that's actually one of the themes for our Miss Buffalo Chip post, or our Buffalo Chip. I get them confused, not confused, but mixed up because I was a poster model this year, but I'm in the Miss Buffalo Chip pageant this year. So that's one of our themes, is like country western.
I got to say, first and foremost, you're back in the Buffalo Chip. How excited are you? Because first and foremost, man, being the model that you are, you really symbolize that poster, and you symbolize it once more this year. How are you feeling, man? Because modeling LFC, put them together. It's the best of both worlds, man.
Yeah, so we crowned a new poster model. I'm really excited to be competing though with the international bikini team for the Miss Buffalo Chip pageant. I'm excited to just return. I've had some people reach out to me who couldn't make it last year because of the pandemic, and that I'll be able to meet this year. But I'm just really excited to be a part of the Sturgis Buffalo Chip because it's pretty legendary. The staff is really great. The people are really great there. And not that last year wasn't a real rally, but I get to experience it slightly different. The pandemic kind of changed a lot of things. But this is also our 40th anniversary for the Sturgis Buffalo Chip, so it's going to be pretty big, which is wonderful to have the LFC have 3 nights instead of 1 night. So that will be fun. So I'm actually fighting the first night, and then I'll be your ring girl the other 2 nights. So
Well, first and foremost, Mike, well, here's the thing. Here's where a lot of girls and a lot of people could get jealous of you, because you're only fighting the first night, and then it's like, okay, we get the rest period for the second and third night. There's a grueling 3 nights. It's great action, and it's great determination and grit, but it's like, God dang, girl, you just on the first night, then you're ringing it. You got to sit back and relax. I see ya. Okay.
Yeah, part of it is because I have my commitment to the Miss Buffalo Chip pageant. But next time when we move forward, I hope to be able to do more fight nights. But I'm excited to just watch the action as well. I think there are some videos and photos that the LFC posted. You can see me in the background just going like, ooh, ah. So yeah, and then last year you remember I was hit in the face with a water bottle.
Yep, I remember. Oh, 2 of the most memorable things from those photos is your smile and the boom right to the water bottle while watching the event, watching this poor girl here get hit with the water bottle.
Yeah. I don't know. My regional manager from Lifetime, he always kind of teases me because he says when I'm in pain or when I'm lifting and it's really heavy, I laugh. I'm not like, I gotta do this, I'm like, ha 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 ha. So, I don't know why.
Well,
So
you can.
my only fear, not my fear, but is that if Jezabel hits me, instead of like, I'm gonna just be like laughing and stuff, like, hit me again, hit me again.
You see, that's something to add to the character, though. And I don't mean to cut you off, but it's like, okay, that's that intestinal fortitude. And it's like, okay, there's something not right up here in La Cabeza. So it's like, let me add that to my character. It's like, thank you, sir. May I have another? See, it adds to the story.
Yeah. I'm like the Joker, but not like he had a fake smile. My smile's real.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes, you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing when it comes to that, when it comes to Jezabel Romo. Again, we see so many great athletes, and she, like yourself, has been wanting to do LFC for a long time. So it's like both of your dreams are coming true, but at the same time, it's against one another. So the chemistry, and I know you've been working on a lot of moves, right? You're adding a lot to your repertoire?
I'm trying to. I've only been training probably for a month and a half. I know that I've the last 9 months I've been going through a lot medically. So I got cleared to train, and I've just been putting in the work. I go Monday morning Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, Wednesday morning. This morning I was training with a friend of mine, and so I'm just trying to get in as much as possible. My knuckles are getting beat up, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, yes, no, yes, no. So love-hate relationship, but I'm just really focused on getting as much reps in as possible, and so I again, I'm nervous, but I'm very excited, and I look forward to seeing how it will all unfold.
I'm going to say this right now, man, with your knuckles. You're going to get them strikes in. You're going to get them kicks in, maybe a little bit of choke action. I see you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening.
But here's the thing, too, the love-hate relationship. It's like when people get into a ring for the first time and you're running the ropes and everybody has that proverbial rope burn. So it's like, I love this because I'm getting to do what I want to do, but at the same time, ow. So I get where you're coming from. But you're
Yeah.
putting in the work. You look great. You're doing your thing, Mai.
Thank you so much. I'm excited.
You're very welcome. Now, I will say this. Here's what I want you to do. Channel that anger, because if you saw the last promo with Jezabel, man, she didn't even call you Mai. She called you May, like the month of May, man. See?
I know you guys are gonna have to wait until you see my call out. It's pretty simple. I mean, can I talk about it on here?
Sure, go ahead.
So I call her out and I tell her, she claims she does her research, but clearly she didn't do enough because she's mispronouncing my name. So I tell her I have one thing to say to her, that if she doesn't know my name now, she's gonna know it by the end of the match.
Okay, see, simple, straight and to the point. I love that. But also
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm gonna say this. Destiny's Child, you're telling her to say your name, say your name. I see you, my it's
So, yeah. Or when the crowd, my oh my, can we see that again? When I beat her up.
I like the style. I like that a lot, my. So I will say this. I wish you luck in your fight with Jezabel, Romo. I know it's gonna kill it. And first and foremost, you're setting the tone. How do you feel to be the opener, man? First bout on the card, set the tone for the rest of the night.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. I want to say it's probably Woody's fault, the owner of the Sturgis Buffalo Chip, because last year, when he got into the ring, no one was opening it up. I think he kind of volunteered me into this. He said something along the lines of, well, your girls look great, but I think our poster model can kick some ass. And so then Sean and everybody was like, all right, here we go. So, yeah, being the opening match, scary, exciting. I mean, there's a lot of emotions to it. It's, I get to be done first. But yeah, I'm excited. I know a lot of the locals, my friends and family, look forward to seeing that as well. So yeah, it's exhilarating. I have a lot of feelings behind it. So, and I'm maybe some of it too, I'm being hard on myself because it's at the Sturgis Buffalo Chip, my second home. So I feel like I don't want to disappoint anybody.
First and foremost, you're not going to disappoint, because knowing you, and I'm going to say this right now, we've seen the videos. You're eating good. You're running a lot, which I saw with your run for Memorial Day weekend, killing it, ma'am. So, I mean, you got the finesse, you got the fitness side of things. You were ready. Just go in there and have some fun.
Okay.
Hey, I believe.
Big coach.
You're welcome. I also look at it from a stance too. I'm going to switch your name now there, because when you're talking about being the opening bout and then done, I'm going to be the ring girl the next two nights. You only got one bout. I'm going to change your name from my Death Proof to my Big League Richard. Just going to big league everybody. That's it. One and done. Next two nights. Ring girl.
Actually, I think the LFC said Richard's royalty. I like that. I was like,
Yeah. All right. All right. I like that too. See, here's the thing. What's cool about it? Like 3 nights of LFC. We're black and blue. How apropos for the next one with LFC 32. You're on it. We have Kira Batara coming in. We have likes of Terry Feisty Fist London. We have so many people coming in. Newcomer Gypsy Mac. It's great to see some familiar faces that you saw last year and some new faces coming in as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Terry, she was um the the ref last year, correct? So that'll be exciting. I saw that. I love her name, Feisty Fist. So it'll be exciting to see her in the ring this time.
I will say this: when it comes to Terry, she's like the LFC mom, just always taking care of the girls. So you and her like would probably have some fun because she's one of the ones that likes to be the fashion, like a fashionista. So she would probably help you out with outfits and stuff. So yeah, she's your girl. She's your girl.
That's what I was like actually kind of worrying about. I don't even know. I know like I'm gonna wear lingerie, but some of the girls' outfits are so um they're like good. It matches them and I'm like, what is me? What is me? I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I know I'm sure the girls can give me a lot of tips and that stuff. So it'd be nice to get to see them again.
Here's what's interesting. Like I had Vita Von Star who competed at the last LFC 31 in Vegas, and I said Vita, because she's big into rock. I'm like, just do something. And we were talking like her goth style look, and she had one with like black and there's some chains and stuff. It's like something out of Hot Topic, but it looks sexy, right? So
Yeah.
for you, you have the Death Proof type of thing. You could do something very gothic with the like death, like we have Five Finger Death Punch. That was an amazing rock band. There's a lot of stuff you could do. So, well, what are you into like color wise? You're thinking black, you're thinking blue, black and blue. You can mix them up. What are you thinking, my?
Um, right now I've really gotten into black and yellow. Yellow looks good on my skin and black looks good on everybody. But then it makes me think of the Sturgis Buffalo chip. They're, black and yellow. So, I have some other stuff that just things just fit me weird. Or I don't know how to style them correctly. So, like I said, I'll get some tips from the ladies. I'm sure I'm just overthinking it too. So,
Well, you could also do it like this. Think of the mindset of real deal sex appeal. It rhymes and it's very apropos. So try to think of that mindset and just rock it.
okay.
Alrighty. So yeah, awesome. So when it comes to LFC, we also have two more nights. It's going to be great to see a lot of the stuff. Unfortunately, the LFC champion Danica De La Rouche is out with an ACL injury, so we're going to be seeing Gypsy Mac in her place against Shea Mazzato. We're going to see newcomer Mia Annabella. We are going to see a lot of fresh matchups and as well as new matchups. So I got to say, 3 nights of LFC with Sturgis, and I'll take it back to Sturgis here. Last year was during the pandemic. This year, we're bringing more smiles to people's faces. As we get back to some sense of normalcy, it's just great for LFC to put some more smiles on people's faces. And one of the
You gonna cut that out?
yes, I can cut it out. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So with LFC coming back for the 3 nights, it's one of those things where we look at things from the Sturgis side of things. And what we had last year, it was amazing during a tough time being the pandemic. So now we're back for the second year row during some sense of normalcy as we get back into the swing of things. So it's always great to see LFC put a smile on our faces, and what better venue.
Yeah, I agree. It was pretty big last year, and I from the comments that I hear from people that had attended, one of the things they loved the most was hearing the crowd cheer, and you get excited, and just the comments are so funny, and they're it's it's just great. I think I was laughing. I mean, you saw me smiling and laughing the whole time. Part of it was watching the girls fight, and then the other half was hearing the audience and what they had to say about who they were rooting for or how the match was going. So I made me realize how much I don't know about fighting.
Well, here's the thing. It's the best time to learn, Miss My Richards, because I got to say, if you see your Instagram stories, we have you eating right, you're running right. Like, you have the mindset just to be the amazing person that you are, not just from a human being standpoint, but as a fighter. I think it's the accoutrements, to use that word. It's an accoutrement of you, you know?
Yeah.
And it fits and it works. And I think what's great about what we get to see from you is as well, like, you're always on the grind, you're always on the go. So that really exemplifies a fighter both internally and externally.
Yes. Yeah, training at the facility and seeing the commitment and the perseverance and the sheer will to continue and go. And even, they say like when you don't want to spar anymore, when you're out of breath, that's when you need to go again. And seeing um, my teammates, my coaches, just keep going. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, going running and eating and that stuff, that's kind of just habitual to me. But when your lungs are burning and literally like your lungs are on fire, you're like, ah, just from all the training, to see them keep going is amazing. So they inspire me, and when I want to give up, I'm like, no, I gotta, it's coming up. And again, with how little training I've had, I'm just trying to soak up every single minute and second I can. So
It's the old keep your eyes and your ears open. It's one of those things where I look at it from a stance too. Like you've only been doing, like you said, a month and a half, but there's a lot to pick up in that time in a month and a half. So I mean, I think it'll show forward and shine through with your bout with Jezabel. Now I will say this, as far as a submission or technique, what are you thinking? You thinking choke, guillotine choke? Are we thinking rear naked choke? You gonna systematically dissect and joint manipulate? Huh? You gotta get some arm bars, leg locks. What are you thinking, Mai?
maybe a little bit of everything, but she's a wrestler, and I'm more legs than upper body. So my concern is she's gonna go after my legs, get me down to the ground. So my goal is to keep some distance and maybe give her a good knocking with my legs. Apparently I kick very well. So uh, maybe I'll just knock the breath out of her with my kick.
Hey man. Well, first and foremost, if you're gonna do like Danielson in the Karate Kid, give her the old crane kick for God's sake, man. I can see you coming with the old kick, little roundhouse kick, little shot to the gut, knock the wind out of her. Hey, little rib kick, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still learning. I don't know if I have like a favorite yet, or um something that I go to continually. Um but I was able to actually, so when we spar, sometimes we go with people like larger than us. A lot of times we do, and I was able to actually choke out somebody who's significantly stronger than me. I was like, I don't know how I did it, but I got it. And so when I did that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get Jezebel.
Okay, silent killer there with I don't know how I did it, but I did it. We're gonna talk about this choke here. So you're choking people, you're choking bitches, hit the switches. So you see, you want to just talk to me. I don't know, maybe the legs, but you can choke somebody out, man. That is some underlying shit right there. Excuse my language, but that is some underlying undertones, ma'am.
Yeah. I um again, I'm still learning a lot, so I don't think I have the confidence to like talk about fighting so much yet. Um, it's so interesting to see others be able to speak about positions, certain strikes very easily. I'm still just absorbing a lot of the technique and a lot of learning vocabulary and that stuff. So maybe as I talk myself through it, I get more confident, but I can't just be like, oh yeah, this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do. So, and then Michael, because I'm blind in my right eye, I'm trying to make sure that I can use both sides well, even, so that's been my focus too, is making sure I can work both sides even with this disability. So
Hey, if Tiny Lister, God rest his soul, I'm talking about Debo from Friday, who was also blind in one of his eyes, can do what he did from the acting game, I think you got this from the fighting game, Maya Richards.
okay. I think so too. It's just it's great to then so I've been learning a lot of jujitsu. It's great that a lot of it is feeling too, you know. Yeah, sight, but the the rolling and just the movements, a lot of it is feeling. So that's been nice. It's been nice to learn.
Hey, that's the thing. You absorb it like a sponge, and it's going to give you a lot to go through in the long run. But I also look at it from a stance too. I'll use the wrestling terminology here. You're like Stan the Lariat Hansen. Stan the Lariat Hansen was blind as a mofo, to put it bluntly, Ms. My Richards. You didn't. He was Stan the Lariat Hansen. You didn't know where that clothesline was coming, where it was coming from the face, and he knocked the shit out of people. So I mean, if Stan the Lariat Hansen can do it, I'm sure you could do it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you apply in your repertoire, ma'am.
I'm excited. I'm excited. You have
All
a
right.
lot of faith in me. You have a lot of faith in me.
Oh, hey, I'm just saying, there's a lot of newcomers that come in there who have half-assed, and you're not half-assing it. So I'm proud of you because I know you want to do this. With your month and a half of training, I think you got this, man. Like I said, either way, win or lose, you're in there, and it's an experience. So.
Yes, I agree. I think either way, I'll have fun, beating up Jezabel, or I'll have fun with her beating me up.
Wisdom right there. Wisdom. Look at it like this. We have Lauren the Animal Fogel, who is one of the top tiers in the LFC, former LFL All-Star. If she could kick bitches' asses, to put it bluntly, on the gridiron, and you could do what you do with motorcycles and being the model and the chip and looking the glitz and the glamour and incorporating that into the ring and whooping some ass, I think y'all got it down pat. So, hey, it coincides.
I think so too. I've seen some of the comments online, and it's so interesting. Some people are like, "She's just a pretty face," and I'm like, "No."
You're going to get that. And that's the thing, because here's the thing. In this day and age, when it comes to fighting combative natures, everybody with women are judged because, oh, it's just a pretty face, but they don't know the technique. It's like, no. If you give somebody that ability to teach and learn, and like I said, not half-assed, they got it. So not everybody is born being a fandom of said sport, but you also learn about it at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Hey, first and foremost, at least you could bluntly say, I didn't know nothing about fighting until this. See, people will respect you for that because it's like, I don't know, but I want to learn. So, hey, it's a double-edged sword here, Miss My Richards.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew going in to just being honest about it. I wasn't gonna pretend to be or know, and something that I don't. Like I said, learning the language of um, MMA, learning jujitsu and boxing. It's it's so interesting. So growing up, I was known as Renaissance woman because I loved languages, sciences, and math. And so learning about fighting, and like I said, the techniques, the names of the techniques it's been it's been amazing. It's been I've kind of noticed, for me, whenever I start something new, it's that 3-week turnaround where I can grasp. When they say this, understand it. And so when that happened for me, uh, it was exciting. And I think the coaches and the teachers, and as well as my peers, noticed that confidence grow. So, win or lose, I feel like I've gained so much. And even in the self-defense realm, I feel more confident in public spaces now. Or, as a runner, running alone can be nerve-wracking. So again, win or lose, I feel like I've gained so much practical knowledge through this experience. So
I'm going to give you another nickname, man. You're the bookworm. Forget about Death Proof. You're the bookworm. Here's the thing what a lot of people don't realize about you. You are an intelligent son of a gun. No, you really are. You're talking about Renaissance woman and everything. You're an intelligent son of a gun. And you add that with your studies, man. That's, again, accoutrement. It's the cherry on top. It's the cherry on top.
yeah, I think that's one thing about modeling is I don't really, in the real world, I don't know. I don't really mention it much because people get the wrong impression of who you are when you see that. So I don't really mention it much. It's kind of hard not around Spearfish, Sturgis, Rapid City area because the Sturgis buffalo chip is so iconic, and being their poster model last year. So it's people are more familiar here, but when I don't really mention that I do that much because people just get a wrong impression of me. But there's a part of me that cares, and then there's this huge part as I get older. I don't care. People want to judge me for that, whatever. I'm happy. I'm learning. I'm growing. I get to be work with people, women who are confident, who gosh, many of them are building their own businesses, and I get to work with the coaches that have their own businesses too, but are very, very passionate in what they do. So
see, here's what you got to do. If they tell you anything or try to judge you, just tell them, don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. Go take it back to the 80s with that commercial, Obsession. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Obsession. There you go. No, but in all seriousness, I love, and it's one of those things too, again, you're doing so many great things, and you've seen a lot of people accomplish things with their own businesses and what have you. You're creating your own avenue, and that's very exciting to see in your own right.
Yeah. It is exciting. I was actually just talking to a friend of mine about this. So I don't know if many of the LFC fans and viewers know, but I have a twin sister, and the comparison is kind of hard, right? When you not to do when you have a twin sister. I think for the most part, we've always just wanted one another to be happy and that stuff. But as I get older, it's been amazing to watch her grow, but also how far I've come in creating my own story. Yes, we're twins, but we are so different in many ways, and we don't need to have the same past. We don't need to have the same I don't know, step by step. So I graduated recently. My twin sister graduated years ago. That was our first milestone that we didn't do together, which, when you're twins and you see your other one graduate first, it was kind of I can say maybe it hurt my ego back then. I felt disappointed in myself, but seeing where I'm at now, things happen for a reason, and my life has just unfolded in in such a beautiful and amazing way. And so it's great. And working with the LFC, getting to fight for the LFC, I would never have imagined this a few years ago. So
I will say, first and foremost, much love to your sister. And I will say, number two to that, man, y'all got the telepathy about you, man, being the twins and everything. You got the telepathicness, if you will.
do we?
You have that twin telepathy? I mean, being twins and all that?
There are some things one of the stories that my parents would tell and my new would tell me is she knew when I was her name is New. So she knew when I was not feeling good, and so she would often, if we were separated, she would tell my parents Mike's not feeling good right now, and so they would call home and they'd be like, yeah, she's not doing very well right now. And we somehow too, when one of us had a song stuck in our heads, even we had different styles of music too. I could just hum it, and she's like, oh my God. And it's the same, I had a song stuck in my head, she'd hum it, and it would be wait a minute. So there's some instances, I would say, but not as large in range as I've known other people. I was telling a good friend of mine recently that in middle school we had the most sets of twins at the middle school we were going to. I think there were graduating high school was like 9 sets of twins were in that school.
That is something. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, all right, I'll picture this thinking back to my high school. So that was 11 years ago for me. I'm trying to think. I think we had like a couple sets, but not. I can't even say 9 because thinking back to like 11 years ago, we had a couple girls who were twins, a couple of guys as well. But I'm like, yeah, no, it was never to that extent of the twinnage, if you will. I'm gonna make that word up now, the twinnage, if you will.
You can make up so many words today.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, hey, I'm gonna say this right now. We have our own language with hashtags and everything that goes on in the social media world. Everything is a new language. Everything's a new language.
Yes. I like that word, twinnage.
The twinnage, yes. But no, I think that's awesome. And first and foremost, you can't beat family. So that's awesome that you and your sister have that kind of relationship that you do. That's wonderful. Now, I'm going to say this before we do close this out, as we talked about family and LFC and everything. I'm going to say first and foremost, it's always a pleasure. It's always a privilege to have you on this show. So anytime you want to come back on, you're more than welcome.
Well, I'll come back on after the fight and you can ask me questions.
Yo, first and foremost, man, I always love talking. You're always a fun interview. And there's that smile once again so the viewers can see that angelic smile of yours. Hello, ma'am. All right, now I'm going to say one thing because we're talking about your bout with Jezabel. No fingers to the eye. You got to get your hail, right? No eye rake, no eye poking, man. No cheap shots. Huh?
No. Sean was so happy that I knew the rules that no face. It's our moneymaker.
She's gonna rain on. All right, I'm just saying, man, because we've seen that. We've seen Jenny Bloody Valentine a couple of fights ago kick Tomiko low. So I'm just saying, man, no cheap shots. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I won't. I won't. If I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win by the rules. I'm not gonna cheap shot. I couldn't do that for myself. I couldn't do that for the chip. But since Jezabel is a seasoned and experienced wrestler, if I won by a cheap shot, like I would never live that down. You know what I mean? From the fans, from her fan base, from it'd be like the newcomer cheap shot wins. Like, I don't want that.
I'm going to give you a term here that's very well known in the business, and I'm going to say this to you. Here's a new term for you. You're the white meat baby face is what you are. You're the white meat baby face. All about doing right. You know what I'm saying? Smiling, having fun. You white meat baby face. You go.
Yeah.
I got to say, first and foremost, once more, it's always a pleasure and a privilege. And this is where I step back. Please promote the social medias where everybody can find you on all platforms. The floor is yours.
So I am strictly only on. See, I'm sure when me saying only, people thought OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans. I have an Instagram. It's mai.richards. I also have a Facebook page, which is My Richards Official. And I have a link tree too. You can find me there. I think it's just My Richards. And you can vote for me for the Miss Buffalo Chip pageant. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And just check out those links and support your girl.
Check out Maya at LFC 32, taking on Jezabel Romo. Check her out in the Buffalo Chip. The woman is always on the grind. You're always doing your thing, and you're a lovely human being. And I'll end it on this. Guys, you can check this out, LaundryFC.com, audio platform, video platform. We got the LFC network. It's the Roku channel, baby, the RC. And no, I'm not talking about the cola. I'm talking about Roku channel. Check us out on all forums and all social media at Laundry FC. Check out this podcast on my YouTube. Check it out, Wrestling with Wrestling. It is a great time to be an LFC Laundry Fighting Championship fan, and I will end it on this. Beauty, strength, and dominance, the 3 key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And Miss Mai Richards, death proof DP. I include you in those sentiments. Woo, woo. Thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate you, Mai.
Bye.